What's good with it, YouTube? Bullet World. It's early in the morning, man. I'm headed to work. Short week this week. I work for the government, so we had Monday off, Juneteenth. And I'm very happy about a short week, man, because they've been killing us at work. I mean, we are drowning in Humvee tires. But nevertheless, I'm blessed. And I just want to talk about a topic today. This is a breeder's aspect. It's actually what I would do, honestly, and what I have done in the past when I first started. With American bullies, you deal with all kinds of different people and different attitudes, different personalities. You run across some people that are serious, and you run across people that are not so serious about getting a pup. But what I really want to talk about today is how a breeder should conduct themselves with a potential buyer, customer, someone who likes your litter, your product, and they're seriously inquiring about a pup, and how we should really conduct ourselves as breeders with them. Now, I remember the first litter that I dropped. I had three people who were dead set on getting one of the pups off my litter, and they had already sent deposits. They were already inquiring before the pups even dropped. So I knew for a fact that these three people were going to get something off this litter. Unless something happens, life happens, and sometimes it takes an unexpected turn. But I was pretty sure that they were going to get a pup. Everybody else was just inquiring, didn't send any deposits, was just asking questions, kind of picking my brain and looking at the bloodline and the pedigree. I had one person in particular that always wanted update pictures. I'm talking about 2 or 3 days later. Wanted update pictures and video, and to some breeders that might kind of get on their nerves, but it never did to me. It never did to me. I mean, even if people were just inquiring, even if people hadn't sent a deposit, or I thought wasn't so sure about getting a pup, and let's face it, man, these pups are not cheap. They're not cheap. Some breeders' price point is higher than others. Then again, you can catch a deal. You can mess around and sneak up on a deal. A lot of times breeders are down to their last pup. Nobody's really interested in that pup. And then you get somebody that comes along and say, hey man, I'll get that pup. And your original price, if you're ready for that pup to be gone, and if you're not going to keep that pup in your stable and use it, then you'll come down on that price. You'll come down on that price, and sometimes you'll catch a deal like that. So, it's give or take. It's bittersweet, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But for that person who caught that deal, because that pup that everybody done slept on might turn out to be the mascot, might turn out to be the heavy hitter. You just never know. But I felt like it was always my duty to please them, to give them what they wanted. So if you wanted a picture or a video every day, if I had the time, and the means to do so, I would get it to them. No questions asked, because they done already sent hard-earned money, even though the pup's not paid in full, the deposit's down. So now, I feel like as a breeder, as the person with the product, you have to satisfy the customer. So I never had an issue with this one particular person, always calling, always messaging, always wanting update videos and pictures. Didn't bother me at all. I felt like it was my duty. And there's some out there who don't like that, man. Who don't like it. But there's some people out there who are way busier than others. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm not a busy guy. We had our daughter at the time. Me and my wife were both working a 9 to 5, just like now. And we had a home, and we had things that we had to take care of, personal business. But I always made time for the potential buyers and also the people that sent the deposit to give them what they asked for. Every time, someone calls and say, hey man, I lost the picture of the pedigree, or I lost the pictures of the parents, or this and that. I felt like it was my duty to provide that. Once again, these pups, these bullies are not cheap by any means. They're not cheap. So, you know, hard-earned money is being sent to you. So I felt like it was my obligation, and I will always feel that way, you know. And you know, as breeders, you have to deal with a lot of people going back and forth, you know, wishy-washy, change their mind like the wind. That's just a part of it. Like I said, my first outing, I learned more about people than I did the dog. I learned so much more about people than I did the dog, and people are hard to deal with. They're very hard to deal with. You know, people are just people. You know, everybody has their ways, you know, but it's up to you whether or not you want to deal with it or be associated with it. You know, so it's all up to your discretion. But for me, as a breeder, you know, my first litter I dropped, I always did my best to get the customer or the potential customer what they wanted, and you know, and I did my best and tried my best to never get frustrated. I never had crossed words with anybody who was interested in the pup or buying a pup from me. It was always cordial and respectful, you know, and to me, that's just how you should conduct yourself, not only as a breeder, but in life general. If you run a business, you gotta have good customer service. One thing I can't stand is going into a place of business and somebody seeing you lost. You in La La Land looking for something, and they'll just walk past you. Won't even, hey, sir, can I help you? What are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? What can I do to make your experience in my business better? You know, so customer service is key. Respect is key. You know, you're going to get some knuckleheads that's going to get on your nerves. You know, you do what you got to do, say what you got to say, and you move on. I just want to touch base with y'all and give y'all my 2 cents on that scenario. But as always, man, respect. God bless. Pray for me. I'm praying for y'all. Got to go to work.